All right. And today we are going to cover that about thinking big and also setting up a challenge with yourself because we have an incredible potential. Like I said, we have if we want to think, let's think big, and also challenge ourselves. We have to remember how big this business is. I remember a leader in another company. She said to us that she said, "This business is so easy to get in, that's so easy to get out." And that's the reality because you just get a package and that's it. And but the challenge is if you really treat it as a business. For example, all of you are every morning in the call. That's a good sign that you are excited about the business. And but the second part is the action. We cannot expect results if we have smaller options. And it's cool to set up a strong goals, even that they seem ridiculous at the time, because you never know what could happen. And I told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again because I know some of you have not heard it. And some of you never, and some of you need to be reminded. I need to be reminded. In around 2007, I was in this company and I was calling the stage in a January event. And I was surprised they called me on the stage. And then the vice president of the company, she said to everybody, said, let's give a big hand to George Reese and say, yeah. And I'm thinking, why she's not going to say it? He's going to be the next million income earner. By next convention, everybody was, yeah. And I was surprised because I didn't know she was going to say that. And I was excited too. And then everybody excited, etc. And I got off the stage. And when I got off the stage, I asked to the vice president of the company, I said, how do you know how close I am? And because this was $1 million accumulated income. And she said, oh, I don't know, but I had the feeling that you're going to do it. Think about that. She said, I don't know, but I had the feeling that I'm going to do it. I said, whoa, okay, how do I find out how close I am? And then she told me to talk to, at the time, the person that was in charge of accounting, and she can tell you exactly how much money you have earned and how short you are. Now, convention was going to be in August. Now, and this happened in January in our it was called New Year kickoff that we used to have. But anyway, I called on Monday, Patty Raphael, that was her name, the accounting, and I said, I talked to, I want to know how close I am to $1 million because Kathy announced that I was going to be the next million income earner. I said, oh, sure, let me check out and I call you back. And she called me and she said, you are about 300 and something thousand, I don't remember. And I said, are you sure? Yeah. What? Last year I didn't make $300,000 and she expected me to get to $1 million in 7 months, 8 months. That would be 8 months to August, or 7 months because we started January gone and was somewhere early the convention. And she said, well, that's what I see here. And I called right away. I say, Kathy, you made a mistake. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, you said that I was going to make $1 million by August, but I'm still over $300,000 away, and I didn't make the whole last year 300,000. And she said, well, that means that you are closer. And I said, what do you mean? Yep, that means that it's going to take you less time to make $1 million. Have fun. That's what she said. And then I said, holy cow, what am I going to do? And I said, because she told it in front of everybody, and I have to make sure that I was going to do it. Right away, I say, okay, what do I do? I usually, sometimes I do a meditation or close my eyes, etc., to feel inspiration, prayer. And then I start having coming ideas, start writing out. And one of the ideas was very simple. I talked to all of the leaders, and let's set up a 90 days challenge. Now it was more than 90 days away, but 90 days challenges. And then I talked to people, okay, what rank do you want to be? What income do you want to be? And they say 90 days. Okay, and some people say, well, I want to get to $5,000 a month. That, by the way, is the most common number that many people say when they get involved in a network marketing company. You said, how much money would you like to be making in the next, this year, a month? And people say 5,000 a month. Then the second most common answer is $10,000 a month. That's interesting now. But anyway, and people were setting up the goals, etc. So, okay, let's do this in certain time. And people say, I never done it. Yeah, but we have to increase the actions. And then many of my leaders set up the goals, and many of them did the goals with their leaders too. And then we launched. And that was sometime January. And then about a week and a half or 2 weeks before convention, I got a call from the CEO of the company. Kathy was on the call, and my sponsor, Jimmy Smith, that some of you know who he is, he was my sponsor, called me on a three-way call and said, hey, George, are you there? Yes. Oh, and I'm thinking, why are they calling me, the three of them? Congratulations. You hit last week $1 million. And I'm super excited. But it's because we put in massive actions, and because they put me in front of everybody to reach the goal. I didn't want to be on the convention, and I'm sure many people are gonna remember. Hey, Kathy said that you were gonna be a million income earner by now. What happened? Well, I wanted to be announced on the stage, and that happened about maybe 2 weeks before the convention. And I didn't know how close I was, because at the time we didn't have a follow-up in the computer. I tell you how much money you so far have made, like we see today in three. We didn't have any of that. It's why we had to depend. We were going on faith. I was calling for a while, but then I stopped calling because I was in action. And as you know, many times, many people get in a slow motion in the summertime. And I was making sure that not only me, but everybody, all the leaders that said, okay, we are going to go up in rank too. We are going to make more money. And by the way, we have so many advancements, so many people making more money. People that hit for the first time $5,000. We have people that went through all the way to $30,000 or $40,000 a month. I mean, it was an explosion. Actually, I have two. I became the number one, the nine person in that company that hit $1 million, number 9. And just after me, the following year, 3 people got it in my organization, and then eventually we have over 40 people in our team getting to that point too. But the point that I want to say is that everything is possible when we go into action, but we have to believe it first of all. The reason is funny, because I believe it in some ways because the vice president of the company believed that I could do it. My upline believed that I could do it. But I think the biggest motivator for me was fear. Fear of being at the event and not to be to reach that goal. That was fear, motivation, because fear can motivate you too. And Anthony Robbins said that there are 2 big motivators that are pain or pleasure. And at this point, it was the pain of me being in front of everybody and not reach that goal. And by the way, and took me in that company, it took me about 3 years, less than 3 years to hit the $1 million. I think it was 30 months. It's interesting because in the next 14 months, I hit the second million, and then the third, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, today we are going to talk about that. How you can go in the next 90 days to $10,000 a month or more if you are starting from zero. 5,000 or 10,000, depending what is your goal. Something that I want to bring up right now, even if you are making $5 a month right now and you say, I've been here for 6 months, there's no way that I can do it. Everything comes back to very simple thing. One is the way that we think. Second is the action. And third, the action by following the proper steps. And every morning in these calls, in these Zooms, you have the different steps. But the idea is just to put those steps in action. I'm not going to teach any different. I'm just going to show you the numbers. But no, the way to get there is just action, massive action. That's what I did in that company. I increased my action, not only myself, but with my team, because we sponsor many people. We created new leaders that were already in. We found leaders. We found people that they were kind of sleepers, and suddenly they exploded. I mean, it was a totally big explosion. And and again, it's not like we are creating. It's a magic word that we are going to say no. The magic word you've been hearing it every morning here. It's not it's different action. No, the action you hear every morning here about the actions, but this time we are going to keep track of those actions. I recommend that you work with somebody, a friend, one of your team members could be, doesn't have to be even your downline, but would be better if part of your organization. And then you keep accountable of the action that you're going to be doing, and then you go into action every day. Every day is like you start again the business. Okay, I'm gonna go and share my screen. Okay, hold on a second. All right. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna get the money coming from four different places: the PIBs, the cycles, matching bonus, and duplication. And this is very important. Duplication. You're not gonna do it by yourself. You have to make sure that you're working with your team. We are talking about 90 days now. We are at the end of May, basically the beginning of June, and then will be June, the full 30 days in June, the full 30 July, and then August at the end of August. Where are we going to be there? Now, many people are going to reach that goal before or after. Now, see that I'm not talking about ranks. I know it's cool to set up the rank of 3-star, 3-star pro, 3-star elite, 4-star, etc. But let's talk about money. And let me tell you why. Because our subconscious, since we start thinking, knows what money is. When we are little kids, probably we are rich because we had a couple of quarters. But that keep increasing the more we grow up and the more our needs and the more we know about the world. Now I'm not going to have as an example all the packages. The matching bonus is not going to put in an example, but I'm putting it as an example of where you can get. Now everything is going to be action, and the action is going to be based on this. It's connect, share, and grow. It's a simple three things. You connect with 30 people every week or every day, depending on how fast you can. Now, if you're thinking in every week, if you're doing it 5 days a week, it's 6 people a day, because you want 15 to take a look at this. That would be people looking at a presentation, a Zoom, a live Zoom, people in person. You're bringing people to a coffee place or your home, or etc. And 5 may enroll. But I remember, we are going to be talking about income and not the amount of people that you are going to share. Now, we have a form, and all this, I'm going to send it for you to use it. And some of you that have seen the form. Now, your goal is 30 conversations. And by the way, how often, it depends on you. Because that's the way that, sorry, my little dog that suddenly went crazy. Okay, but as you see, it's just the action. It's connecting with 30 people, and 15 that are going to look at the presentation. Could be face-to-face, like I said, could be a video, could be a Zoom, etc. And then there's a possibility of 5 are going to enroll in. Now, we are not talking about the number of people that are going to enroll. It's just we are going to go for the number of a dollar sign. Because there's no exactly number how many people we have to enroll to reach our goals, because it depends also on the quality of the people. And like I said before, we had a plan, but it's the duplication. Now, this is a disclaimer. And I want to say this because I don't want people to say, oh, George told me this morning in the call this morning that I was going to make $5,000, $10,000 a month. No, I didn't say that. I have to do disclaimer, because that depends on you, on your action, of different circumstances. But you are the X factor. The X factor. Not what I say, not me, not the company, etc. We are the X factor in order to reach a goal. Okay, I'm going to go into the numbers right now, and I'm going to explain what this form is, because it's going to look like Chinese for some people. You see in the corner, in the left corner here, weeks, 1 to 13, and the same 1 to 13. The reason is because there are 13 weeks in 90 days. Now, if you look at, say, 1, 3, 5, 7, the reason is because I'm giving 2 weeks to reach your weekly goals of the amount of people that you want to have in, and then to help people to get their people, etc. No? but it's 13. On the left side, you have 1 to 13. The first column is going to be you. How many people you are going to sponsor the first week, by the third week, by the fifth week, by the seventh, by the 13th week. Okay? And then these zeros that you hear, okay, I'm calculating that people are going to sponsor 2, and they are going to sponsor 2, and they are going to sponsor 2, the people that you sponsor and they sponsor. Now, the numbers that are going to appear here at the bottom eventually, here, okay, oops, let me close this, close. Okay, here in the last zero that you see here is the amount of people that are going to be joining. All these zeros are going to be people, and it's going to add here. But remember, 13 weeks, the first column is you, and the other columns are your people in your organization. Now, see that I have a blank PAB. Depend on the package that you are bringing people. That's it. And then here, the volume will appear here, you see, is the volume of the package. Now, I'm going to need participation here, all right? My question is, do you think that you could, in the next 2 weeks, let's suppose that today we are a Friday, starting Monday. Actually, you can start today. You don't have to wait until Monday. Hold on, make sure everybody's muted, except if you want to say something, you can unmute yourself. But anyway, do you think in between the full next week and the full following week, and what is left of this one, can you have 5 people sponsor? Think about that. Now, in order to do that, remember, we saw the formula here. Let's go here. Connect with 30 people, 15 take a look, 5 may enroll. And by the way, we are talking to people about the whole enchilada, not only about the products. Christine used the word always, the product is a business tool. You tell the whole story. Even if the person said, well, I just want to know about the product, and then you say to the person, may I ask for permission for something, for what? I want to tell you the whole story because I don't want you to get upset with me a year or 2 years down the road because I didn't tell you the whole thing. It's okay. And then you can tell a little about how they can make money. You don't have to go into details. But the idea is that you have 5 people enroll. Now, I'm going to put here on the, at the bottom, by the way, we have the different packages. I didn't choose every package. I have different packages and points. You don't have to stick to a specific package, but I'm doing the points, the $17.99 all the way to the lowest one, that's the 200 points. That is the one that has the 3 GLP-3. Now, anybody wants to say, what package do you want to choose that we are going to use? By the way, it could be a combination of 2 packages. Something that I like, for example, the $399, it has the 6 basic products, the 6 products that we started with. And the next one, the one at the bottom, it has the 3 GLP-3. I think that's a great combination because you can combine packages. And by the way, when you combine packages, guess what? You are going to have a bigger PIB when you do it in the same week, when you sign up in the same week with 2 packages of a bunch of products, the PIB is going to increase. Okay, I want to make sure that everybody is clear about that. Okay, let me see if I can see the chat. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't see anybody in the chat. Anybody wants to say, let's choose a package, but I want you to participate. Anybody, what package will you use?
The Pro.
The Pro, okay. I have hold on a second. Oops. All right, the Pro will be the biggest one, and I don't have it here, you see? I did it on purpose. I had the $17.99, that's 900 points. But let's assume that we started, but let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
100% of the people that you sponsor come with a big package?
No.
Okay, because
No,
one of
the middle. Probably in the middle.
Yes, Yeah, I'm gonna use one of the one below, the one in the
The
599. That probably,
599 is probably more normal for at
yeah,
least.
that's right. And the reason I'm saying that is because many times I see when people are talking about examples, and they say, if you do the big package and you sponsor 10 people with a big package and they sponsor 5 people with a big package and 5 people, the reality, the majority of people do not come with a big package. Now, there are many that are going to come, especially if they are visionaries and they can see the big picture. But for this example purpose, I don't want to go too over. Now, let's talk about 5 people. The first column, you see here on top, the first week, and this would be the first 2 weeks. With 1 and 2, I don't have to here. Probably it would have been nice if I had 1 and 2, but that's okay. First week, it was 1 and 2. You sponsor 5 people. Now, we assume that each of those people that you sponsor are going to sponsor 2, no 5. It's easy to say 5, okay, sponsor 5 is 25, and then 125, and then 625, and then 3,125. Then we jump to 15,000, and then we jump to 75,000. It's nice to say that, but I don't want to be cutting those big numbers yet, and be a little more down, closer to earth. Okay, I'm going to add the number 5 here. Look what is going to happen with this column. This is people in the third week, and I'm putting, by the way, that people are not even sponsored in the same week. I'm talking the third week, and then the fifth week, people that they sponsor on the 3, they are sponsoring people. You see all these zeros that go in this way. Let's see how many people come in. You sponsor 5. See what happened. Holy cow. Look at the number, 635 people. This is assuming only 2. Now, we choose the middle package. You see the 599, that's 599 points, 300 points, 300 points, 300 points. And by the way, here we have 0 volume. Now we have the 300 points volume. That's 190,000 points. Now, the PAB is $100. Okay, you see it's $100. You cannot see it very well here. That means that, remember, you sponsor 5 times 0, now times 100 PAB, that's $500. Now, I'm going to keep doing this example to say why the numbers are so big and why is possible. Okay, that total so far is $7,908. Well, let's suppose that the third week you sponsor only 1 more person. That put you 9,490. 1 more person 2 weeks later. Look how the numbers start reproducing. 1 more person. 1 more person, 1 more person, and 1 more person the last week. That gives you $11,000, and we are not even talking about the matching bonus that probably by that time is about $3,000 or $4,000 more. Now, and this is talking about this package. Now let me take this package off for a second, and everything's going to go to 0. What if we have a combination of the 2 packages? The one that has all the products, this one that's 200 points, that have the 6 basic products, and then it's $50 we make, and we have the GLP-3 that is 100 points, and it's $25. Okay, you see, the PAB is going to increase. Now we have the 2 of them, $75, over $10,000 again. Now, numbers don't lie. But many of you say, I don't have 100 people. And in the 2 years that I've been in 3. But when you go into action, you don't know what is going to happen. in the company, when I reached that goal, we increased the amount of people that were coming every week by more than 10. And the reason is because a lot of people were duplicating. We were 10xing everything, and or more, as to the point that I think by the time that we got to the convention, our team was putting over 1,000 people a week. And that was not happening before. It was probably like 80, 100 a week. That was really good still. But from January to get to about 1,000 people a week, I would say if somebody's in from the outside, and I've been in the company already 2 years because it took me 30 months to get that, to say, oh, in 2 years you have not done that and you're expecting to do it in the next 8 months from here to August. I know many people that creeping in the mind saying, there's no way that I can do that. Hey, remember, everything starts with the mindset, what we believe or not. But the idea is that the numbers never lie.
George, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
How long were you in that company where you were doing 2,000 or enrolling 1,000? How long were you in the company?
At that point, I was probably like 2 years.
2 years.
Well, by the time we hit 1,000, was a little more than 2 years. Yeah, 1,000
Okay.
people a week. And this is the thing that eventually we were having 500 to 1,000 a day. Not at that time, but later. Because my team grew to over 1 million people. Think about that. If you had told me that was going to happen, that I was going to have 1 million people in my team, I probably would not believe it. But the fact that I had the fear that I was going to be on a stage, that fear eventually become a belief because I reached $1 million, and we keep growing and we keep growing other people. At the time, I was the first one in my team, but then eventually we had around 40 people that earn over $1 million. Think about, I know the numbers, but the numbers don't lie. This is assuming that people are bringing only 2 people. And by the way, you can play with this number. I'm sure somebody is saying, oh, I could bring 10 people.
George, quick question, George.
Yeah,
It's
go ahead.
Irene. Good morning. Is your Excel spreadsheet available for us to use? I don't know how to create one, but I know how to follow it. And I know the numbers. The numbers are, it all makes sense. And you're so right. It's all about the numbers. So if we do all the daily activities like you all tell us to do, those numbers will happen. So I would
Yeah.
really appreciate it if I could have a copy of that Excel spreadsheet for myself.
Yes, I think I can. I can make it. It's in numbers, but I can make it into an Excel. It's
Okay.
numbers as the Mac for those of you who have a Mac.
Oh, yeah. I have
Yeah.
both, so
Yeah,
either
but
one works.
I think I can make it into an Excel because I can make it into Excel, but I want to make sure that all the numbers work the same way. But I think they do. They do. Probably it's going to look a little different sometimes. I noticed that sometimes that when I'm using Excel, it could some of the numbers may change a little. Not the number itself, but the graphics I was talking about. Okay, let me go back to, hold on a second, please.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. But yeah, I love Excels. I love to create a spreadsheet for everything. And I've been doing it since I learned how Excel works. That was the first one I had before I have a Mac. Yeah, but I can put it into Excel. I know some of you don't have Macs. I like Macs because numbers and Keynote, they are easier than PowerPoint. Of course, you're used to create a PowerPoint, it's going to be easy. But it's easier, in my opinion, it's shorter learning for most people that want to create slides. Keynote is tremendous too. And numbers is tremendous for Excel. Go ahead.
George, I think Sylvia had a really good question in the chat. Do you mind addressing that? Because I think that's key on what to say to new people to get them to duplicate.
Okay, and this is the thing. When I talk to people, I said, let me tell, what is your goal? Let's suppose that you're talking to a goal. How much money you would like to be earning in X amount of time? You could have, say, in the next 12 months. Don't say 90 days or 30 days. Let them to see what they are going to say. How much money would you like to be earning per month? And then ask by when. And I say, okay, I'm going to show you how you can do it. Let me invite you to a call also. But are you serious about that? Because you must do the activity. Because I tell you one thing, People that do not duplicate is not doing the actions. There's not anything else. They think that they're doing the actions. They lie to themselves sometimes that they're doing the actions, but the actions is doing income producing activities. And these are activities that are going to get you to the presentation where the person is going to join, and the person is going to join as a customer or as a BA. But this is very simple. You want to do it, I want to see your activities. And let me tell you, when somebody said to me, and I'm serious, and I don't know if some of you I already gone through the fire when somebody say, oh, nothing is happening. I asked them this. Let me show you. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Can you bring me this form? I asked them, can you bring me the form or some way that tell me the people that you have connected with? Nobody that tells me that the business not working has a form like this set up consistent, not only once, but consistent. And the duplication happen when people are consistently sharing. And by the way, you asked also, what are you telling people? 2 weeks ago, I had the call where we talk about creating your own story. And it was a template that you can use to create a 30-second story or even a full presentation. I noticed that when people talk to people, they talk too much or they go back and forth. Very important that you are telling, when you are talking to people the first time, the purpose is to get the person to the information. That could be here, where you see, you connect with 30 people, 15. The purpose is that they look at the information. That could be a Zoom again, face-to-face presentation. And when somebody is not duplicating me, I can tell you 100% for sure that they are not going to have a form that show me that they're for real are doing the activities that produce results. It's like if you are in a job. If you're in a job and they tell you, okay, you in order to get X, you have to make X amount of activities. And you have to show them what those activities are. This is no different from that, but in this case, it's your own business. You are going to be accountable to yourself. However, it's so important. It's why when you work with somebody else and your upline also, the upline has to know what activities are you doing. Because every time somebody again come to me and say, gosh, the business is not working, say, okay, let's go through the numbers. And I say, what numbers? Yeah, show me the form, who you are contacting. People say, well, I wrote it down in a little paper. Oh, I have it here and there. But most people, and when I say most people that are telling you that the business is not working, and I would say 99%, they don't have a consistent action doing the right things. Many of them, they just say, I talk to everybody. And I say, can you show me the everybody list? Ask that to somebody when they tell you that they are not having results. I talk to everybody. Okay, show me a list of all the everybody that you talk to, and let's review to see what happened with each of them. What do you think that's going to be the answer of most people? I don't want to say 100%, but I'm sure it's very close to 100%. And that is very important. Duplication came from action. Duplication, if you have duplication and we put the A before the C, is acting. Action. As a matter of fact, the basic of the business, I'm going to put that slide really quick, it's just a few slides. And you have seen this because we have gone through that in the training. Let me share. Okay, my screen again. And I'm gonna go into that really quick. It's just this. Connect, present, and follow up. Now you are doing it 30 times, the connection. presenting 15 times, follow up, and then people are signing up. But you have a method of operation. I'm going to go try a little quick through this. It's where you are creating the board of directors. And we have talked about that, myself, Christine, and many of the other people that have done the trainings. You have the people that you want to be in your team. And you write boxes with the characteristics that you want of those 10 people or more. Look at the potential. And we just show you the numbers. I like to use the numbers that I have. And we have the pay plan. Everybody is within 6 degrees. It's why we never run out of people. But I want to see the action. And this is the thing that you have to remember. If we take it too serious, this is like building any business. It's like sharing a movie or a restaurant experience. Let me tell you what happened to me. Let me share this with you. Let me share you how this is helping you. Let me show you how this can work with you too. Tell me more about your dreams. And then you go. And then, like I said, you focus on the hot market first. And then, of course, you expand from there. Because most people that you are going to have, you don't know them yet. And then, of course, make your list. Who comes to your mind? Again, okay, who you spend the money with. You see, these are the basics you can hear it, or you have been hearing it all these mornings from different people. Referrals that are very powerful. And the referral, by the way, you go specific. Who do you know that would like to work from home? Who do you know that is a waiter or waitress? Who do you know that like to make money? Who do you know that is a mom in home that want to have extra money? Who do you know that wants to change career? People that have things in common with you. People that went to school with you. Hobbies, church activities, etc. Make sure you have the business cards too. And by the way, always to have your goals. Daily interactions. People that you connect every day. Trade shows. You don't have to be at trade show. Just collect cards. And what is said here, you collect cards and you call later. You say, hey, I'm looking for people like you. You impress me. Let's connect. I'm opening my business in this city, or I know that you're from another town. I would like to bring my business to your town, because many of the people that are in trade shows are people that travel with trade shows. And then we have the tools to do it. But you see, this is the thing. We have already done the how to, but the fact is to leave it on the basics. And the basics are connecting, presenting, and follow-up. But anyway, yeah, the template, I'm going to post it I'm going to send it to probably to Kimberly. She can post it. But any questions, any comments? Numbers don't lie, by the way. Activity is going to bring you the numbers.
Can you bring up the sheet again? Just
which one?
the spreadsheet.
Okay. All right. Let me go to share. Okay. Okay, this one?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, I can change the numbers again. Let's put everything to 0. Let's change the packages. And any package that we choose, even if we are going for a big package, but like I say, most people are not going to sign up with that package. It's why when at the beginning, when you said choose the one in the middle of the 300 points, that is $100 in PAB, and then you see I sponsor, let's suppose, 5 people again, that's $500 that you make on PABs. Plus this is the volume that's happening, because the volume is 300 points. Plus this is what could be happening. And the third week, you bring one more person. I'm not even talking about 5 people. Look at the numbers, how it start increasing on the right side, the bottom side. What if it's 2? Let's get one more number here. Look at that. One more number. Look at the numbers, how they start increasing. It's why what is possible, the numbers never lie.
George, can you remind me again what the numbers on the top in the green boxes mean?
Yeah, actually, let me do something here that make it easier. 1 to 2nd week, 3rd to 4th week,
Okay.
5 to 6 weeks. Yeah, I didn't think about doing that before,
Oh,
but
thank you.
you see, I'm giving 2 weeks to give the goals. Then 12. And by the way, in 90 days, there are 13 weeks. That's why you see 13. The same here. 1 to 2nd week, 3rd to 4th week, 5 to 6 week. It's the same. It's just that one we have I have it in 10 columns, in 2 columns. I mean, 7 to 8 week.
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, no, it's kind of I didn't think about doing like that. After I started the call, I said, oh, actually, it would have been better. But I'm glad because I'm corrected here. But you see, it's
This
the
is
first
great.
2 weeks, therefore the same here. I have it here for the whole team. This part, this column is yours. You see, I sponsor 5, I sponsor 2, I sponsor 2 the following 2 weeks. You see, I'm giving it 2 weeks. I'm giving enough time. In order for that, of course, we have to go in massive action. I have a friend that he's been in the world of sales for years. He's in the insurance business, and he is making probably about $200,000 per month in income. And one of the reasons is because he knows his numbers, and he said every day I'm making 100 calls. And he does it Monday through Thursday. He works only 4 days a week. He does 400 to 500 calls a week. Every day is at least 100 connections. I forget how many presentations a day he said. I think it's like 10 presentations a day. Imagine if you're doing 10 presentations a day. He's doing it in a product that's much complex. But he had the numbers he has a form that's kind of similar to this one. It's not exactly the same, where he showed me the numbers. He actually the form is in his he has a computer program. It's a CRM, and then he has all his numbers of what he's doing, and he said, and that applied to every business. Big numbers consistently eventually start paying off. Because it's going to happen. Yeah, Kimberly, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Could you put that in a spreadsheet that if you had like, say, 6 or 10 people who did the big package, to go from like 0
Yeah,
to
I'm
3
going to go to the
star
big
in a
package.
week?
Yeah, I was going to put that example. I'm glad. Thank you. Let me share, because we didn't talk about the big package. We just do in the middle or the combination of 2. Okay. Let's leave the same numbers, but I'm going to change the package. Let's eliminate this and this. Let's do the package that had 900 points and $250 PAB.
Well,
Now, look, in
350.
the PAB, your income goes to
Wait,
4,250.
it's 350.
No, in the 1799. That's in the.
Oh,
You're
the
talking about the Pro.
1799. I was talking about the $2,800 pack.
Oh yeah, it's cool, but look at the numbers on this one. Even if we don't have, it's $43,000. Think about that, and we are not talking about the matching bonus. And the reason I didn't include the matching bonus, the original table that I was playing with, I put the matching bonus, but the numbers were getting so big, ridiculous, that people are not going to believe this. Because here you see, yeah, already with this package, that's not even the biggest one, 43,000. But even if we have included the other package, how many points is the Pro? Do you remember? I think it's 2,000 points, correct?
Well, it's 740 up front.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's why it's big. Well,
Yeah.
then on the point side, the calculation would be different. Here would be 340 is that, or 350 is. Okay, what would change is the PIB. But with this package, believe it or not, actually your team make more money. because you have more points right away. The other ones are divided through the next 12 months. 12 months basically. It's why actually this package
Yeah.
is
Hey,
True.
George.
But they're
I'm
active
glad
for
you.
the whole year.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
That's
but
okay.
oh, go
They're
ahead,
active for
Kimberly.
the whole year, though. Wait, 1 second,
Yeah,
Antoinette. I'm
you
so
go.
sorry. So it's just, but then they're active for the whole year. And that is such a
correct.
great selling point because they will be ordering other products. You get enough products for 6 months, but you're active for the whole year. But then when the new Kinetic comes out and all the other, I mean, you're going to be using up these products. The GLP is not even in there.
Yeah. Well, but
So,
look, I didn't include the auto ships either.
mhm.
I didn't include the matching bonus. If I start including everything, the numbers become so big that it's going to be hard to digest right away. The second part is that the pro package eventually is going to be gone anyway. Most of you don't know. Take advantage of it while it's out there.
And George, you don't know when that's going to be gone, right?
No, I thought it was going to be gone like a month ago, because
Okay.
that was a recommendation that came, especially with everything the FTC is doing. The companies are nervous to have bigger packages. That's why we are not the only one. Some companies, no, tons of companies have eliminated the bigger packages.
George.
And you say, why the FTC? Well, because the FTC work with attorney generals and attorney generals of states like Michigan, for example, that don't like anything too big. But anyway, that's another story. Okay, go ahead, Antoinette. Are you there? Okay.
I do want to mention, because we debated this when we were moving up. The difference is you get the 900 points, but they tend to still do their 60 points every month.
Correct.
So actually, that package is a better package, because what the reason why they're moving away from the Pro Pack is because when you get people to do the Pro Pack, yes, they're active for the full 12 months, but they tend to not purchase as much. So that's why the company was moving away from it.
Well,
So
actually,
just
it's a legal
I don't
thing with
find that true, though, in my personal
it-
experience. I don't find that true at all.
yeah, I mean, I think everyone's different. I agree. You know, Kimberly, I like the Pro Pack too. You know that.
Just
But
because
the
it's not going to be around for a long time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to go. So this is why I just think we all should push for that a little bit, just because it's going to
Yes.
be gone. And those people are
Yes.
so happy when they don't have to worry about their smart chip.
Yeah, that's true. The only reason I use less packages, because the reality is that never 100% of the people are buying. It's just about 10% of the people are buying the bigger package on the company, and that's the numbers always through the company. It's around 10%. And yes, you can say, well, all that 10% is going to be mine, but the reality that doesn't happen, because as soon as go beyond the third generation, duplication on those numbers change. Because
And-
the person coming with the bigger package depends a lot on the person that's presenting.
And George-
also, the numbers get harder because a lot of people are thinking about saving money, because the way the economy, we are telling people that they are going to lose their job, but at the same time, they say, oh, but everybody has to spend all the money. And that's why we have to be careful. The most important part is that people are in the smart chip, by the way. Jimmy Smith, one of the things that he said, that this guy had made over $100 million. He said, I don't care how people are coming in and saying that they are coming with as much package product that they can. I want is that the people that they are committed to 12 months of smart chip. And that's why he created an organization that the sales in his group are probably like $500 million a year right now. And that's why he made so much money, because the smart chip is very important. It's to create how do you call it, the
consistency.
the system, the consistency and the habit, because it's a habit. It's just a habit. And the other thing is that I knew that from 3 years ago, I knew the state of Michigan was going to start giving you those problems, because I've been in this long enough to know that they always love to. And it's not just us. Look what happened to John Living Essential, Forever Living from Florida. They had the biggest package, And they not only shut down the bigger package, but they decide to leave the US. We say, oh, we don't want to stop the bigger package. We want to do all over the world. And they kept the bigger package, but they left the US. Even though the company is located in Arizona. But it's a question of law too. We have to make sure that we have to protect ourselves. Although Thompson, I forgot the first name, I probably would like to have Thompson, and he's an attorney for the network marketing industry, and he had a video, wrote an article about a year ago recommending companies not to have packages more than $2,000. And for reasons, because what happened, there are so many scams that sadly it's because the crypto stuff that people are putting all that money to supposedly that they're going to have a big return, and then that's giving us it's just trying to protect people, because happening in the crypto and investment world. It's why now some companies, when they are in investment a certain amount, you have to file something with the FTC. That doesn't apply to network marketing. And we don't want to apply to network marketing. We don't want to make it more complicated. When you are putting some money up front, that's more than a certain amount. It's why the packages are going to, the bigger packages are going to be history in network marketing eventually. Now, you can buy it after you join.
And Kim Weiss mentioned that too over at our leadership in Iowa. She said, go for those 2 big packages as long as they're around. And I agree with you 100%, George. I don't want it to be like conflict at all. And Janelle, I'm so sorry. I think you were going to be speaking as well. But everybody's going to do whatever they're comfortable with. And when you have like a person who has a big network, or maybe they have a facility where they could sell the products or something like that, it's very beneficial. I just had somebody who did 3, and they're putting them into their martial arts studio. So it's like everybody will do whatever they feel is good for them. I truly do believe that. But thank you so much for all the information about why when it does go, what the benefits are for all of that.
It's a FTC regulation that is also probably going to be affecting Canada, because usually Canada does the same thing that US does. That's not the case in many other countries. That's interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, George, real quick. I agree. People will do whatever they want to do. But it doesn't mean that you still don't offer that, just like Kim Wee said. And not only this, keep in mind, I have so many people that will say to me, well, what did you come in with? So people will do sometimes what you do because, they're asking you. So yes. I just agree with offering the 2 bigger ones, and then people will do whatever they want to do.
Yes. Yeah, I feel that if a person is committed and they had the means, they had to come with the bigger packages, because one of the things that happen usually in companies, when somebody comes with the bigger packages, usually are the ones that stay the longer, because they check all the products. It's why coming with only one product. It's why, by the way, I don't like the idea of people coming just with the GLP-3. I like the people to buy other products too. It's why minimum the 6 products, because they have to experience the other products. Plus, they are going to have better results. And I never just say, just get the GLP-3. You want the better results, add this on. Now, if for some reason they don't do it, they come with a big GLP-3 package, etc. That's okay, but we have to make sure that the person is introduced to the other products, because in that way they stay longer. It's one of the reasons I like, if they are coming, even if they are coming with a pro package, that doesn't have the GLP-3, at least get one of the GLP-3 package, the small one. I think it's so important that people experience the more products they experience, the much they are going to be excited about the product line and obviously about the business too. That's why just coming with one product doesn't work in most cases. And the numbers say when somebody comes with only one product, the long-term stickability, the stick with the business goes lower because they don't know the other products. They don't know the other products. And then some people think, oh, I lost the weight I wanted to lose. I don't care about the other products, and they stop. But they never tried them. And when the idea, and Kimberly is saying, all the products give you the best results, and it's true, because when we are taking the GLP-3 product, the body start losing weight fast. Toxins start being released much faster. We want to make sure that we have the different products that are in the body to not only counter arrest those toxins that are the body releasing, but putting the nutrients to help, like the Vitalite. Obviously, we are having the one for inflammation. We are having all the different products together. And you know what product that works, helps a lot with weight loss? And I can't believe that so many people don't talk about that. And Kimberly knows what it is, because we talk about that. And it starts with the letter K, like Kimberly. Kinetics. Because
That's
one
right.
of the ways that the body produces energy is by burning fat. That's why we feel energy. That's why Kinetics is an amazing product to take it together with the GLP-3 and the Vitalite and all the products that we have, actually. But anyway, go ahead, Win. I think,
George, real quick, I'm loving everything that I hear, and we just have to keep an open mind and know our audience. In other words, everybody's appetite is not the same, but when you
Agree.
know, you won't turn them away.
Yeah, know your audience. That's so perfect, because I'm not going to go into examples, but for example, if you have a younger audience, you're not going to talk the same thing that people are retired. If it's a person that they have different goals, or people they need to lose a lot of weight, or people that are in shape, or people that are more into money, obviously, you have to know the audience. That's why our presentation is kind of generic, but when you are talking to one person, it's why you have to find out more about that person. Go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah, thanks, George. Hi, I want to just elaborate on a few things that I know we don't talk about. For those of you that don't know, my sister Lynn is a founder in the company. She sent me the products to try within, and this is a simple six. She made sure I was on, well, actually, including the skincare, she made sure I was on everything. Within 5 months, I was literally off of 5 prescriptions with my doctor's knowledge. Right now, I have eliminated 50% of Adderall. For those of you that know that it's usually used for ADHD, I'm also bipolar. And I have cut off 50% of my Adderall with my psychiatrist because of Kinetic. I have replaced the afternoon Adderall with Kinetic. The critical thing is the products, the Simple Six. It works in your body core. I could have never eliminated many of those prescriptions if I didn't stay on all of our products. So when people break those up, you're actually breaking up the science of what it does in your body. I have lost a lot of weight, and then I started to put on muscle, but then my weight went up. But then all my inches were going away just because of the GLP-3. It also regulated my metabolism so much that I actually had to get off of my blood pressure medication because I was getting dizzy because it dropped my blood pressure so much. And there's stories there from everyone. But it's very important that you know that the Simple Six is so important for what it does to your body as a whole when you take it regularly. I ran out of Revive because I was sharing it. And within 2 weeks, I felt like an old lady, and my joints, my knees were killing me walking upstairs. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like when you don't take the product, you start to notice the difference in your body. And for those of you, I'm 70. So it does make a difference. I cannot speak highly enough for our base products of the Simple Six and what it does for you. And of course, the Kinetic. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing. And that's why it's so important not to just focus. Yeah, when you open the doors, sometimes the one product, the GLP-3 is opening the door, but we have to make sure that your story, and thank you for sharing, is so important because there are so many benefits. And by the way, it's not really, our products are not a miracle, it's our body, but we are giving the raw materials that the body needs to work the way that's supposed to. And there's the raw materials, we have it in our products. and then can be absorbed, and with time get better. And the reason get better, by the way, is because our cells being fed, and the cells divide and create a new cell. And the more we use the product, the next cell is going to be better and nicer, because the body almost replaces itself completely in about a year. That's why if we are eating terrible garbage, guess what? That's the cells are keep replicating, and then the next cell is not going to be as nice as the cell before. And it's why some people, gosh, they are in the 50s and they look like they are 90 because they're not replicating the right way, or they are totally sick. But it's so important. The products here, it's like the business. It's consistency. Definitely the 6 basic products. And the GLP-3, I feel that the GLP-3 has to be consistently, because it's helping with our metabolic composition anyway. Those 6 products are amazing, and the kinetic is so powerful. What you're saying is so true. I didn't need the kinetics for energy, because I always like that. Doesn't matter if I don't sleep. You say sleep 2 hours, I always with energy. However, when noticed, I was more focused. That's exactly what you are saying. I'm much more focused. And every time I'm going to do a presentation or travel for a long time, guess what? I'm taking kinetics, because I know I'm going to be more focused too. But anyway, it's like the business, it's consistency. The more we use the product, the more results. Now, when I say people come in, yeah, I prefer that they come with a bigger package, because it's a much better story that they have created. But if the person can't do it right away, at least come with something and later get one of the bigger packages or more products. But the idea is that they start sharing, because what happened to Gwen, I mean, that story is amazing. Now, again, it's not like we are curing anything. It's our body. Our body. Think about that. We are giving the right stuff to our body. I don't remember who was the one that said it. Probably was Thomas Edison that said, that, "Beat your food, beat your medicine." And this is food. This is food. Just in pills or powder or drops, but this is food. We have to keep that in mind. Holy cow, we went over. I just saw the time. We can talk here until tomorrow. But anyway, any other question before we leave? I just realized I've been talking so much. Remember, numbers, consistency. It's like the product. Consistency with the products, get a better results. Consistency with the business, get a better results. Sometimes you have to wait months for seeing the results on the product when you're using all together, when you want some excellent changes in your body. The same with the product. It's a consistency, but give it strong for 90 days on the products. Every day, and then the business too, and you're going to see a bigger difference. It's amazing. But anyway, wow. Anybody wants to comment something before we go? And
Yes, George, it's Irene. Will you upload your sample numbers thing on the YouTube? Excel?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to make it into Excel, because in numbers, I know many people don't have numbers. The good thing, and it's not an advertisement for Mac, they don't pay me 1%, but the good thing about Mac is you can read Excel or you can read numbers, both of them. I love that. That means that I'm going to put it in Excel, and then whatever you have, you can read it or use it.
And George, can you put the live stream link in this chat too for this?
Oh yeah, actually, let me do it right away. Yeah, let me put it right away, because I already have it. Okay, right there to the right side.
Those slides that you had, that you showed as like the presentation, I guess it was presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Will they be in there as well?
That slide today, yeah, I can upload that that will be in the body of the video where they say the video information. I can add those there. And
Okay.
actually, I can add also the spreadsheet there. Oh, now I'm thinking, it's just I had to make it in Excel.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, maybe, I don't know if I can. If I can, I do it there on the spreadsheet. I think I can, because if you make it into a Google document, I think. I have to check.
You are so smart, George. It's amazing how you could just do all of this. I mean, you're always impressive every single time I listen to you.
Oh, thank you.
Kimberly, I was going to just say exactly that. I'm so grateful to have you, George. Like, I'm so
Yes.
grateful. Like, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I love to work with you guys, and I love the potential of this business and what the products do. It's why I'm doing this, but especially the business. I mean, why is it especially business? Because, yeah, the health is so darn important if we don't have health. It's just that most of the stress that we have, the reason we don't eat well, etc., is because we don't have the time freedom, and then we are eating bad because we are in a hurry. We're stressed out, and then that's affecting our whole life. And especially, and today it's even worse than ever because we are exposed to so many news, because real ones and fake ones all over the news. Why? Because before we didn't have social media, we go 40 years back, no social media. We barely knew what the heck was happening in some places. Now, even there's so many things, fake news, real news, news in a country that we didn't know even exist, and it's affecting us. And that creates effect. It's one of the reasons I tell people, take a diet of news. Don't watch the news. And I'm people that know that they are depressed, but they have in the background, they have CNN or Fox News. They say, nope, no news at all, please. Because they are not telling you positive stuff. You can do it. You can do it. Go ahead. You talk to more. No, they're telling you how bad it is, and how they never tell you how good it is. Maybe sometimes numbers say, oh, the economy is improved, but always there's a bot that's going to come from somewhere. It's why make sure you bombard yourself with personal development. There are so many great videos on the internet. There are so many recordings and books and the Bible and there are so many inspiration stuff. The same way that we have more access to news today, we have more access to a lot of good stuff too. That it used to cost you money. Many of the videos and recordings that I used to pay for, they're free on YouTube today. And it's interesting. But anyway, we live this old book tells of two cities. We live in the best of times, we live in the worst of times. What do you want to focus on? And by the way, this book was written many, many years ago. I apply exactly the same today than many, many years ago. We live in the best of time, we live in the worst of time. Now is where we focus. Think about that. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And even though I want to keep talking, I better shut up.
Thank you, George.
Thank
You're
you, George.
brilliant. We
Are you
appreciate
doing
you.
training on Saturday?
Oh yeah, Saturday at 11:30 Central Time. I'm going to be doing a training. I'm going to be touching different things, including obviously the numbers. But yeah, be on the call on tomorrow at 11:30, and the link. Yeah, I'm gonna send. Well, Kimberly, you have the link. You can post it already not necessarily here. Well, I can post it too.
I'll do it.
If
you
Can you
want.
put it on the Fire Horse?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can post
Thank
it
you.
on Facebook. I mean, on WhatsApp. Let me see if I can post it right now. The link. I have it here. Let's see. Link. Where are you? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna post the link on the right side, and you can copy it.
You're
But
so
it's in the
fast.
flyers and the. Okay, copy. And by the way, for a little, you see the webinar or the Zoom room number, the 801-360-2195. That's my phone number in case you want to call me.
That's
It's
so
very
good.
easy, and that way I remember the number, because many times people ask me, "What is your your Zoom number?" Oh, my phone number. That's the easy way to remember. By the way, you can do the same thing. You have a Zoom, you can change it to your phone number or any number that you remember. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. And
Thank you, George.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much, George. Wonderful.